Up next, we have Shuichi Onami from RIKEN in Japan, and he's going to tell us about SSBD and putting together a public repository for the. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So thank you very much for the introduction and sorry for waiting. So that's my name is Shuichi Onami. I'm coming from Japan. And I'm talking about the SSBD and the related activity. So the SSBD is a public database and a public repository for sharing bioimaging data, biological dynamics data. And also, we are aiming to make this comprehensive platform for including not only just the data, but the tool and environment for utilization of the data. So this is our concept. And so let me just start briefly introducing the RIKEN. So I hope you know RIKEN, but RIKEN is the National Institute of Japan's, they say, the most comprehensive institute for the
Barrett.
All right.
Good. Again. Okay. Now. Now we see. Yeah, that's where it does the thing where you can't. Okay, I want to try this.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's the previous slide because of management, you just know very well about that. So RIKEN is a national institute, and we have several locations across the Japan country. And so our place is is Kobe. So and the headquarters is Tokyo. So we have this kind of so separated location working on the science in the diverse areas, not only the biology, but chemistry and information science and computational science there. So, and so SSBD, so we started the database for the segmentation and tracking data and original image data. That is started in 2013. But so we hearing about the voice from the community, so we started to share the standalone biological bioimaging data at 2016. And so requested by the community, we started the repository service. And then so 2019, so we separated the added value database, SSBD database, and the public repository, the SSBD repository. So now the SSBD have two layers of the database. One is the database and the other is the repository. And the repository is like a bioimage archive. So we accepted image data for the publication. And then so SSBD database is added to value database. So we put more richer metadata on each data. Basically, our curator do it. So that's those are the data in the database. SSBD data is more useful and more kind of wider. Well, this is the SSBD. And so those two layer system was proposed by the originally the Ehrenberg and also the Swedo's paper. That's so we have the two-layer system. So and you can add it. So the data repository or sharing is very important. That is many people know, but it's kind of the laborious task to add into metadata or something. That is so many users don't want to do that. That's so we put the two layers of system. The repository we can accept the minimal can set of the metadata. So that is so easy to publish your data. And then so we set up the added value database, basically so how creator added the metadata from this repository's data. So that's so we have more kind of richer set of the data that has a richer metadata. So this two-layer system was proposed and we are running on that. Okay. So so the most important thing is today's meeting. That's the back system is working by OME. So that's the most of the data for the visualization. So we manage the data and the visualization by using OME. But metadata, so we use the independent system from the OME. So that's because we will using more kind of structures metadata. So then so that we independent of the metadata system at least for the moment. Okay. So and then so now SSBD shared the diverse set of the image data from the very small kind scale to the large scale. So and it's similar to the image archive or other database. So and so now so thanks to the community, mostly from Japanese community, so our data is increasing quite rapidly, and also some papers and the articles our database actually. Right. So and as Marshu kind of introduced in the previous so then in Europe. They have three major database and repository for image data. That's Empire and the idea how is added for that is added value data for database for the EM and so the cell and tissue microscope and the bioimage archive is a repository. So that's accept all the data. So that's a two-layer system. So in Japan and Europe, we have this database system to for function. So and but yeah, so we want to make the global system. So not only just Japan and Europe, but so similar to the DNA sequencing database and protein structure database. So we want to make a so worldwide and global system to share all data from the world to the world. Okay, so and but we are thinking about a bit different way of doing the sequencing data, the structural data, because image data size is very big. So that's in the DNA sequencing and protein structure database, they kind of mirror all the data into the different basically the three locations in the world, but we cannot do that. So that's we are aiming to use the metadata edited sharing model. That's all the original data should be located in the portion or sometimes shared space, but metadata is basically shared and used for searching something like that. So and also as described in the previous speakers, so we are aiming to get into the cloud-based sharing system using hopefully the OMEs or so file format is fine. Okay. So and metadata. So this is a very important kind of topic in this meeting. So as you know very well, as the RIMB, we had discussed and proposed a framework of the RIMB, but so unfortunately, as you know well, the RIMB is just a framework. So and everybody can work using a different kind of metadata set. This is an example. This is a SSBD metadata schema. The framework is following the RIMB. That's so we set up this kind of metadata kind item, and so the yellow colored one is essential, and so and the green one is using an uncontrolled vocabulary. Okay, so those are the metadata set is different. Diversity by diversity, that's a problem. So to make it happen with the metadata harmonization in between our repository. We started the project funding line. So the project aim to kind of harmonize the metadata between the European and the Japanese repository. So the idea is to, for the microscope data, so we harmonize the metadata of the dimension archive idea and SSBD, and so making some kind of interoperative system. So really speaking, searchable across these databases. So to do that, so we looking into the metadata model for those three repositories. So that's how we get metadata from model from those three and compare. So and then so we found out that 12 items are shared among those three and that's very there. That's for example the study. Identifier, authors, publication, license, release date, and imaging method, and organism, blah, blah, blah. So 12 items are shared among the three repository. Maybe this is the kind of the essential, more the minimum kind of metadata set. So and looking into the control vocabulary, so we found the two the metadata those three repository are using the same the ontology control vocabulary. That's imaging method using the API and the taxonomy is GPL taxon. So we share, and so we have several shared. The metadata from our ontological vocabulary, but interestingly, so there are some kind of category that's use the different ontological vocabulary in a different repository. So we have to take care of this point to make the harmonization. So, and based on that, we propose these 23 items for the first step to harmonize the metadata among the repository. So that's the first 13 are kind of already shared among the repository, but the others are added based on the our observation, something like that. So, and it's a bit sorry, too small, but so we want to discuss about that. So maybe so we can extend that other repository happening in here for so this is the data sharing. So and and also so we are also cooperating with Matthew's group and Josh's group to make the data in a cloud by using the OME or cloud-based format. But so maybe those are well discussed by them or later in Josh. So I don't want to go in detail. So and so I want to go back to the more original side. That's so the sharing is very important, and but the metadata is very difficult. Yeah. So that's so we set up the many kind of the framework of the metadata, but the most big problem is that biggest problem is to the actual researcher to input the metadata into the repository system or OME system. So and we are now working on that in RIKEN. So that's so RIKEN started the new project that is called TRIP. So that's briefly speaking, the idea is to all the research in RIKEN should be data science. That's not only the biology, but many other area of research, physics and the chemistry, right? So they have a data. So that's those data are treated in a very classical way so far. But so that those data to be accumulated into the digital format, and then easy to put into the RIKEN's the computational system and the high-end AI research, and then so evolutionizing the biology, fundamental science in the RIKEN. That is the idea of this project. And so based on this project, so we are now making the biological data management system in whole region. So that's so we are managing the not only the image data but also the other data, for example, the proteomics data or something. But I want to talk on this image data. So that's we have laboratory, many laboratory and also the imaging for facility. So working on imaging. So and the idea is to put the data from the laboratory and imaging into the we can centralize the data management system with the data hopefully automatically or very much efficiently added with the data. So that's you know well that's the setting the kind of instrumental setting data the metadata can be automatically drawn by using the biometric format for others. That is okay, but for the most difficult the experimental setting or experimental and some data or something. So that's we are now trying to install e-notebook kind of system into the laboratory on the facility and try to get they need to write down once in the notebook. No, that's and then so we will automatically get the metadata from the e-notebook or other system. That is what we are now developing, and so we have now used here to present a poster, and so we discuss with you just that we are still in just kind of in the process of developing. So we, for example, use the metadata app or and so that's we want to kind of use your tool idea, and also we want to bring back to our tool as well. So that's how we want to collaborate with you to make this thing happen in RIKEN, and we can provide the other institute as well. So one way to do that is we are now starting to collaborate with India. So we so I visited India 3 times last year. So that's we collaborate with setting up the image data facility and also the image data repository system in India is collaborating with our activity. So and so we hope that so we will can accelerate such kind of activity in India. Okay. So, and not only just image data sharing or okay, but the analysis is also very important. So, and as you know well, that's the UBS is now becoming the global the UBS. So, and so in this coming October, so we will have a global meeting or conference in Kobe, Japan, our place. This, we have the training schools and hackathon and hackathon and the symposium that so some kind of supporting that. So we are open for the registration, and so yeah, please join us. So that's so we want to kind of integrate this analysis activity with data management, and so kind of sharing. And related to that, so we just started the smaller group of the East Asia bias, EA bias. So that's so still just Japan and the Taiwan activity, but we want to expand that is in East Asia region. So that's in total, we want to make a biometric system in so let's say the Asia Pacific region to kind of communicate with the so other place. So that's so we need help from yourself, but yeah, we are now pushing for this direction. Okay, so and so we want to make the global system of the sharing and utilizing the existing data. So and so we basically agree with what you point out at the program, but I want to one at one point. That's so the idea of the common accession number of the repository. So that's I heard about this at the very beginning of the funding guide project meeting. That's EDB and so sequencing community using the same shared accession number for the every repository. That is a very good kind of point to driving the global base repository activity, I believe. So that's so we want to make this happening in the near future. So yeah, I hope we discuss about it with you. Okay, so thanks for everything. So this is the collaborators and so our team. So thank you for presentations.
We have time for one quick question. Jean-Marie.
Thanks, Shuichi, for the great presentation. Going back to what Judith was indicating earlier on, is around the various difference between ontology and PBI, describing, for example, imaging method.
Sure.
Is part of the funding guide just offer the proposal, as you had in your sheet, or also to provide tools to say, okay, I use FBBI now, and the recommendation is EDAM to convert, to do the mapping a bit to I'm saying exaggeration, a bioformat for metadata, but do you understand what I mean? So it become unified for what Judith was alluding earlier on.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And so we after the last October meeting, so we try to kind of the EDAM group is trying to kind of communicate with FBBI group. But if I'm correct, and please correct me if it's wrong, but the FBBI already stopped kind of continuing talking on that. So that's a problem. So the EDAM group is now kind of thinking about the integration of the FBBI and continue to kind of keep and also go developing access groups to the FBBI. So that's the basic idea is to two activity to be merged into the EDAM. So so we can use it in the near future. That is what I'm doing. So yeah, not only just a proposal, we are other proposal we want try to directly work on that in other funding.
Thanks.
All right, let's thank Shuichi-san